So let me just warm up. So let me just roll the TNT. We got tangents and trivia. It's TNT, baby.
We're going. Give me a slap and an action.
Action.
Tasty. ASMR.
What you sipping on there, boy?
Coronavirus.
No, can't say. I was going to say free promo. We don't do that stuff here. We don't do that here. Let's talk about, man. That's
you need to give us some money if that's what you want. Imagine your logo here, this area here. We'll put the camera so it's even more square on, like, just so that you can block your logo out. Do you know what I mean? That don't worry about it. Your logo will be in prime positioning.
It's true. And, for any small businesses out there who would like to promote themselves, we're your guys. No.
I'm sure I could really vouch for your product as well. So
let's go, bro. Let's go.
You'd be a good guy. I mean, you're already the face of a gym.
Of a certain gym. Yep.
Some kind of gym.
Some kind of gym.
Yeah. It wasn't going to be any other gym though, was it?
Jimmy Rocks. Jim Stone.
Gemini Snicket.
There we go, boy. Alright, shall we jump in with something?
Yeah, come on, mate. Hit me one more time.
Oh, what am I giving a topic again?
Okay, well, I can go first.
Yeah,
but I've only got two and they're both linked.
Okay, alright.
So we might end up flowing. Let's just go.
Okay, can I go first then?
Yeah, go on.
Alright, so one thing I want to... really, the way that I get my subjects now, or topics that I want to talk about and discuss with you, it's just from like real life things, and I'm like, wow, that would be really, really good to talk about on the podcast with you.
Me too, but I don't live in real life.
They didn't get picked up yet.
Probably not. But
okay, cool.
Say what you were saying again.
Yeah. Anyway, so I often find like my topics that I want to talk about with you through just doing things in real life. So it'll just be random conversations, or someone will say something to me, and I'll be like, I'll just think of things really differently, and I just quickly run in. Well, I don't run. I just like unlock my phone screen and then type in, okay, that's
Get out your typewriter.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll file in all my ideas there. They don't just come off the top of the dome. They're just things that I think are really gonna just be quite interesting. It'd be interesting to see other people's perspectives on it as well, because like, this is a conversation between me and you, but at the same time it's to include other people in those types of conversations, because I just don't feel like they're had quite a bit.
Straight from the top of the dome, when a rocker, turn the microphone onto the right setting.
It's on, isn't it?
Yeah, you did it.
Come on, man.
You're a technical.
I got you, bro. I got you. Anyway, I want to talk about technology, so it's actually really cool that you focus on that. And I wanted to talk about it in respects to how we use our tools. And the reason why is because something happened this week which made me think, it's like, how many times do we sit there and we go, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, and you have the internet, this vast database of information, and yes, of course it's so big, like sometimes it can really throw you off. But if we look at our generations, our society now in relation to previous societies, like, we have a hub of information that we can access like that. Back in the day, like, you'd have to scour through all these different archives and, yes, this manuscript right here, and pick that out.
Do you want to know what my first thought is as soon as you said this?
Go on.
So, yeah, we've got this archive of information or disinformation or just nonsense or whatever it is on the internet. What's the main problem with the youth of today since the internet's been a thing? Like, the youth that have grown up with the internet already being kind of what it is now, social media, etc. What's the main problem with them?
What's the main problem? Is it that they've become a lot more detached from reality and a lot more attached to this virtual reality? Is that where we're going with this?
Kind of. There's an element of that, but no. What I'm saying is they've got no attention. So you've got so much on the internet.
Yeah.
You've got such a vast amount of things going on that like where do you start, where like how do you not get distracted by the next thing popping up? And
for sure, and you're right. I think again it's something, it's an entity, it's something there, and we really determine how we use it best or how we use it worst. And this was the topic, and this is what I was thinking about, is I think people need to be a bit more conscious of how they use the tools accessible to them. It's like you can ask someone like, oh, how do I do this, how do I do this, and genuinely you could just find that video on YouTube like a how-to. But then I guarantee if you needed to find some like information on the most like randomest thing ever, if I was like, oh, who's Sam going out with, there'll be like multiple pages dedicated to like your life and this really, really just niche information that really has no benefit to the person searching it up. But then if a person was to search up like how to do or how to solve a problem that they're facing in life, there is information out there. And it's like, for me, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, why is it not common sense that we use the tools that we have in front of us to solve the problems that we have?
Well, rather than just going straight to YouTube.
Well, no, I'm saying doing that. But rather than that, they'll just be like, oh, I can't do that. Like, oh, I won't.
Yeah, I mean,
do you know what I mean? It's such a common thing that even myself, like I'm guilty of it, where I'll be like, oh yeah, I have no idea how to do this, and I'll literally in my head slap myself and go like, just put it in a Google search, and within seconds I've solved the problem.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a technological problem.
It's just that thing with just not. You just need to be. I suppose, I don't know. You're just tired for a second and then you remembered. But yeah, people that don't do it at all are just. They just don't have that thing in their head, that little thing that just goes.
It's weird. It's weird because surely, like, I still don't understand, and I know this is a mindset that's shared with quite a few people, is there are some people who are so problem focused, they forget to focus on the solution.
Yeah.
And the thing is when you start to focus on the solution, the problem that is in front of you is very, very different, because all you're thinking straight away, you look at it and you go, okay, that's the problem, how do I solve it? And so you're not even thinking like that's a problem anymore, you're just going solution, that's the best one.
Yeah.
And I think like our, maybe even generations before, because even with the older generations, it's something that I see through various people, is not how can I solve this, it's oh my gosh, why is this a problem? Why is this happening to me?
I think it comes back to something we talked about before, I think, where it's just like some people they just so don't want to be a nerd that they're just desperate to not appear like a nerd or something like that they've kind of forced themselves growing up to just not have that thing about them that like makes them kind of be a bit more of a problem solver or thinker. Yeah. Have I told this story before, just in case?
I'm old Greg.
About like somebody that I was in school with.
Yeah.
Have I told that on the podcast?
Yeah, you said it, mate. Yeah. Go on.
But just a quick roundup of it again, just for this context, is we did a spelling test in French, and you had to do with the person you sat next to, pass it to them, they'd mark it, and she got like quite a lot out of 10, and you'd mark it. And she got like 7 out of 10, but she did quite well anyway. And she was so embarrassed to be saying, like, because the teacher would call out asking what you got. She was so embarrassed to say that she did well. She didn't want to appear a nerd. She said she was stupider than she was, and said she got like a 4 or something like that. Because that's what everybody else was saying, something about that. So she didn't want to stand out as somebody that's like cleverer than everyone, or
I just
or be
find
a nerd.
that so bizarre as well, because it's like, as we get older, our thoughts on being clever and being intelligent, I feel, change for a lot of people. Like, it's actually sexier to be intellectual.
Yeah, I think when people realise like they're working in a job for a few years that they don't like.
Yeah.
When,
it isn't actually coming up. That's us. It's fine. It wasn't picked up.
Yeah, it should be all right. But yeah, when people were in a job for a few years that they don't really like.
You're sending shots.
No, myself included, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I wish I did this, or wish I did that. But yeah, I think when a lot of people grow up, they go through this thing where they kind of almost like turn the problem solving switch off in their brain, because they're so focused on either just being cool or getting minge or being accepted, like being a sheep.
Yeah, being accepted for sure, man. And yeah, you're right. I think when you turn off a skill, or when you don't use something, you become, well, it doesn't grow. It doesn't grow with you.
Bah!
Yeah.
Bah!
A lamb chop.
Yeah.
So no, I definitely hear that, and you are probably right, and it's just a personal thought to people. Really, is like, just think about how you use the tools that you have accessible to you. Like, are you using them?
Common sense.
What's that? What do you mean?
Being a tool. That's a tool that you got in front of you. Do you know what I'm saying? Use common sense wisely.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was like, really.
Use common sense wisely.
But then the funny thing about common sense, though, is don't you think you have to have an experience surrounded around whatever that common sense is needed for? And what I mean by that is someone's like, oh yeah, you should just put this here, that's common sense. But you're like, that's never happened. Like, I've never been in this situation.
Yeah, well, that person just doesn't have enough common sense to know what common sense is.
And that's common. That's common.
That is a common thing.
That's common.
It doesn't make any sense, though.
It ain't making no sense. But yeah, so like, common sense, I feel, comes from experience.
Yeah.
Like, somebody, why don't you just put that there? That isn't that common sense to do that? And okay, I'll give you an example. Like, I think at one point I worked in a kitchen, one of my jobs, randomly, and I'm like, oh, you don't put that there because that's common sense that you don't put that there. And I was like, big man, it's my first day.
Yeah, people don't know what common sense is.
I was like, how is that common sense when this is my first day?
Big man.
Big man.
Yeah, I hate it when people fucking... This is what happens when people are stupider than what they want people to think they are.
Yeah.
So they'll say like words.
This chair, by the way.
Yeah, cool.
That's better.
Yeah, people say like words and phrases that they've heard somebody clever say before,
Yeah.
and they think it's gonna make them sound clever. And obviously, if you're like, just know that's what people do or something. Just listen out to it now, yeah.
Yeah.
And just
No,
you'll hear people do it when they like. Moving forward, we will biddly bong bong. Or like, yeah, what were you saying again? Fucking...
What do you mean?
What?
What?
What was the one you said again? No.
Common sense, mate.
Yeah, common sense. They go, well, common sense will prevail when we burly burn.
And then you pick them apart and you ask them what they mean by that to elaborate.
Yeah, and they go, well, it's common sense.
Quick tangent, which actually is related to that as well. Something that I find really, really strange. Shut up.
Sorry, so I just got on the sound effects. I just kind of realised that if I could just...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Look, I'm dazed from Thai boxing, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm punch drunk, mate.
All of this isn't actually happening.
I can't flow with this right now. I'm still there, fighting.
Oh, fuck, the chair's fuck. Right, go.
But no, I wanted to expand on that because, what were you saying? What's the last thing you said? What was you going on about? It's going on about something.
Thai boxing.
No. Like, before
common sense
that,
will prevail. People saying stuff to make them sound.
Yeah, that's it. People will tell you things that they are not even confident about, and they've just heard. And that's a habit that I stopped really, really long ago.
Well, no, I only just stopped doing that, to be fair. Now you just said that.
Don't go see this film. It's crap. Have you seen it? No. How do you know? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What is that about, though? The amount of times I've called...
To be fair, sometimes I respect people's opinions enough. Like, if someone was like, don't go see that film, it's shit, I'll probably not see it. Unless, for sure. And a load of other people tell me otherwise. If I respect... Like, if you told me that... I'd probably be like, well, I ain't going to rush to go see it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
I would never tell you that unless it was... I'd experienced that. So I did Ramadan at one point, and no, I'm not Muslim, nothing like that. My dad is, but I met him further on in my life. But I wanted to see what that experience was like, and I remember telling people, because I worked in a gym, and I still do work in a gym, but it was another gym at the time, and they were like, "Oh, I'd never do that. That's so unhealthy." And I was like, "Have you done it before?" No. How do people, year in, year out...
Well, it's because they would have just been brought up being told 3 meals a day is what you need 100%. To do, otherwise you're going to be ill.
100%.
People don't know.
If you haven't tried something, how does it clarify you, or how does it validate you to tell me what's right or wrong? Because you've never tried it.
It's just the way people talk now. Like, people say the most extreme version of everything all the time, because it's just the way language is developed and the way that society is developed. People are just like... Yeah, I saw this thing. It was amazing. That's amazing. And you were amazed by it. You know what I mean? Like, no, you weren't amazed that you saw this thing and it was alright. Like,
but I think we just need to remind people that you can be modest, and even I've had it sometimes where someone said something to me.
You respect people more when they're...
And I just say this, like, if someone says something to me or tries to involve me in a conversation that I have no information on, I'm just like, I can't really participate in this. Like, I don't know enough about the subject. I do that at work,
especially. It's a nice cop out at work. But no, it's you respect people more. If you realise somebody's just bullshitting their way through stuff, then you're never going to listen to a word they fucking say.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, there's so many people that I've worked with that it's not just like saying stuff out right or whatever, but you know when you just like catch someone off guard a little bit, maybe they've done something wrong. Just admit you've done something wrong. If you don't know what you're talking about, or you don't like, just fucking admit it, and everyone in the room's gonna just be like cool and move on. Yeah. Because you've just admitted to it, so that's what I mean. Like,
but I think reality often isn't as bad as the reality that we imagine in our head. And a lot of people don't act because they think this big bad thing is going to happen. Yeah. And like you said, people just turn around and go, oh yeah, cool, all right then, next. Whereas they're like, oh, I'm going to lose my job, my life is going to fall apart, I can't afford the car that I've got, I can't afford the house that I'm paying for. And it's like, no, it's not really that deep. It's just people are going to be like, yeah, probably best not to do that next time.
People are just paranoid and shit. Like, some people are just hypochondriacs and paranoid as fuck, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? People are just paranoid.
What is with you?
I don't know. I'm just in a musical mood.
I know. Like, I called you to be like, let me in, and you're just there flipping, making a song, singing, and I'm like, something I haven't eaten. I've been punched in the face loads of times.
I'm an orphan boy on the doorstep.
I was mash up, mate. That sausage pasta thing saved my life. Thank you. Shout out to you guys for sponsoring me.
To the face.
Say again.
The face.
The face. I think I'm done on that topic.
That would be good. If he became a producer, that would be a really good tag, wouldn't it? Just
what, you or me?
That literally just when I just said the face just then, I burped it out. I would speak sick for that, wouldn't it? I'm gonna do that for him.
You're a nightmare, man. I'm never giving you coronaviruses again.
Okay.
you just go crazy on the mic.
Yeah. I'm going crazy on the mic.
I'm going crazy.
I'm going crazy on the mic. Going lazy when I write. I didn't write anything.
We got tangents and trivia. We got tangents. Naeem and Sammy be on TNT.